Good morning. This video was not on my schedule for yet. I want to talk a little bit about immigration. But the stories and the pictures and the images that we've seen for the past few days are absolutely gut-wrenching. I cannot imagine anyone in their right mind, anyone who has half a heart, not to be moved by the pictures of children being separated from their mothers and with the audio of children crying, begging for mommies and daddies to come back and get them. I want to go back into history for just a little bit and remind people who apparently don't know the history of this land. People talk about now they don't want open borders. Well, every nation needs rules and policies, but we don't have to be cruel, vindictive, and dehumanizing. When the first settlers came to this land, that was not called America then, but if the native inhabitants had not been a kinder, gentler nation, none of us would be in this land now. And I want to remind people of how greed, corruption, and fear can decimate a nation of people. When the native inhabitants first received the early settlers, they taught them how to survive in this land. And how did we repay them? I'm only saying we because I'm an American. I wasn't born then. My ancestors were not even in this land then. But there were those who thought they were superior to everyone else. They called the native animals and savages. They slaughtered them and then relegated them to specific pieces of land when the land had been theirs from the beginning. We must remember our history, and we cannot allow fear, greed, and corruption cause us to be less human than we are. But we see that that's possible from what's coming out of the White House. Anytime we refer to people as inhuman and call them animals and act like they're pests and going to infect or invade a nation. They are not invading. There are people trying to save their lives and the lives of their children by coming here to a place of safety. If we can't be a safe haven for people trying to escape persecution, we don't deserve to call ourselves American, the land of the free and the brave. And we might as well send the Statue of Liberty back to France because we don't deserve having it sitting in the harbor of New York, welcoming anybody when we have such vicious leadership in Washington, D.C. There is no excuse. And if you're not as tired and as outraged of this as I am, then shame on you. Because it simply means you have become a heartless, soulless creature, not worthy of even being called a human being. It is time to rise up, America. It is time to say enough is enough and stop the stupidity coming out of Washington, D.C. And none of you who supported that person in the Oval Office ever say, you didn't know, you knew. He rode down that escalator calling Mexicans names, demeaning them as human beings. He has demeaned black people as human beings. He has called NFL players SOBs. You knew who you were supporting. And the reason you supported him is because deep down inside, he resonated with your own feelings because of your own hatred and bigotry. And if you don't believe me, take a look in the mirror and dare to ask yourself this one question. Why do I hate people who have done nothing to me? It's time, America. It's time to change the course, the direction in which we're headed before we become totally obsolete in the eyes of other nations. We have already lost our standings. We're calling our allies enemies and our enemies allies. I don't understand it. Maybe you understand it better than I do, but it is time. I want my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren to have just as much opportunity in this land as they can have without being concerned with people trying to kill them because of hatred. It's time to put a stop to the nonsense. It is time to put a stop to the nonsense. And since we have an impotent, complicit Congress who won't do their job, it is time for all Americans to rise up and get to the polls and vote. And we must vote blue. We must put people with a heart in charge of governing all the people in this land, not just a segment, but all the people. And we cannot govern by hatred and fear and trying to be superior to another. We are all human beings. We were all created in the image of God, and none of us has a right to think we are better than the others. None of us. Get out and vote. Vote in the primaries. Vote in every election, every year, in every state, in every city, in every township. Get out and vote. And if you don't remember anything else that I've said, remember that it is Democrats who have a heart. Vote for the people who have a heart and care about humanity, civility, integrity, honor, and pride. Vote with your heart and put a stop to all this nonsense and children being put in cages because somebody wants to build a wall. I'm Mary Hall-Rayford. I plan to be on the ballot for president in 2020. And I'm not interested in building a wall, but in building bridges that will provide access and connection to people so we can make this nation as great as it has been and could ever be, knowing we cannot live in isolation from other nations. We need one another. Remember the name, Mary Hall-Rayford, because I guarantee you, you will see it and me again.